What's poppin', y'all? The disrespect is getting to be a little bit too much, even for me, coming from this new Nicki Minaj. You could call her a clone, inspired, whatever it is, by the name of Trim. So I actually spoke on this rapper a month ago, maybe even more. I had just come across her. I was like, yo, this chick is blowing up. She's pretty fire. I listened to her other music. It was good. And obviously there's going to be the Nicki comparisons. And I saw that she was getting a little bit of hate. And I was like, yo, what's up with this? Why would she be getting hate? But now, more recently, I have come to realize that any hate from here on out is definitely deserved, and it's nothing to do with the quality of her music. So this girl, she made the XXL freshman list, and on the freestyle, the one that they do without music, they do the freestyle, then they do the cypher. That's when they have the beat in the background. She sounds identical to Nicki Minaj a cappella, like the exact same thing. I can't play it for you guys because XXL be going crazy with that. And to be honest, I really don't care about the XXL freshman list. I didn't care this year. I didn't care last year. The only reason I saw it on my feed maybe once or twice. Aren't those NFR podcast guys back? I'd be more interested to see whatever list they've got. Although they did have Uzi outside of the top 100 rappers, or one of them had Uzi out of the top 100 rappers, which, come on, dog, that's criminal. That's criminal. If somebody had Uzi in their top 10, I would understand. And I'll be like, okay, now, would Uzi be in my top 10? Maybe in my heart. But if I had to objectively speak on it, no. I think he'd make top 20, though. But the history between this girl and Nicki Minaj. Because obviously, I quote tweet this, and I say the following, which is just obvious to anybody. I said, being a female rapper is like being a white rapper. Every white rapper starts off sounding like Eminem because he was the only guy in it at that level. What other white rappers were there? I mean, I don't know. Paul Wall, maybe, but Paul Wall didn't come out at the same time as Eminem. And Paul Wall is really down south. You have to be from Houston to, that was like Swishahouse era, wasn't it? So you had Eminem, and that's really who you learn from. You're like, okay, this guy is kind of like me. I'm going to rap like him. Most female rappers are going to sound like Nicki Minaj. Who else would they be inspired by? Cardi B? Like, come on now. How are you even inspired by Cardi B? She's got no material. She's got barely any music out. And Cardi B herself, her biggest hit, or like before WAP, the biggest hit that put her on is a Kodak Black song. So what are we doing here? I said, granted, this girl trying to pretend like she's not heavily inspired by Nicki Minaj and she isn't one of her favorite rappers is disrespectful AF. And you're probably like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, how did she diss Nicki Minaj? Well, it's a slight diss. There's a long history between Trim and Nicki Minaj's fan base. This has really, Nicki hasn't addressed this. And I do like Nicki not addressing anything nowadays. Jay-Z, that's a joke. She doesn't need to address him at all. Nicki Minaj, current day, got more emotion. Her re-release of a 15-year-old mixtape got more sales first week than Jay-Z trying to do like a 30th anniversary with a bunch of physical copies that people didn't even want to buy. I'm pretty sure Days Before Rodeo, didn't that do the same numbers? Days Before Rodeo, 10-year anniversary. They were just, the streams on that, I think, did more than Jay-Z. But hey, Jay-Z's the GOAT and the old heads love him. But for some reason, you old heads aren't buying his stuff. Oh, wow. That's really interesting. So this started months ago, and I believe I covered this, and it was this page that has shown some love to Trim and says 44-year-old Nicki Minaj threatening to block her fans who support other female rappers. The video surfaced on X after she started blocking fans supporting upcoming Trim, including Trim's fan accounts.
To my Twitter barbs that I follow, if I see a name or a face, that goes for any name and any face, that's going to make me malfunction like for 2 seconds, you getting unfollowed and possibly.
So this account, Trim Crave, got blocked by Nicki. Now, we don't know why this got blocked. And this post, I'm not going to say this is paid promo, but the way that this post comes across, and this isn't an individual, right? Like, for example, if you see me tweet a certain way, like if I'm going to tweet a certain way about Lil Wayne, right? You know I'm a person behind the opinions on my account. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you know, like this is an organization. Nah, this is me. So if I say something, you're like, okay, that's his opinion. And you know that aligns with my regular opinion. But with something like this, right, like this media page, you don't know who it is. You don't know the personality behind it. They're not trying to be a personality. When you see 44-year-old Nicki Minaj and then supporting Trim, you're like, this leans very anti-Nicki and pro-Trim. And we don't even see the evidence of the reason why they got blocked. They could have just been annoying. They could have said like, yo, Trim is better than Nicki. Like some nonsense. Anyway, on March 31st, which is before the block even happened, she would get approached by the Hollywood Fix, Trim, and she's got that big like coconut water song. And she would be asked about Nicki Minaj.
I know right now the internet is saying you sound a lot like Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
I mean, what's your response to that?
You know, it's a compliment. When you're compared to legendary people, it's bound to happen when you're legendary yourself. So I take it as a compliment, you know, shout out to Nicki.
Mm-hmm. And how has it been with the Barbs? How have they been receiving you?
I mean, you know, I think the Barbs secretly love me. It's okay if they, you know, they hate is love. So they love me, you know, and I love them.
I like that. I like that. Now, do you purposely try to sound like her? Or is that just
No.
that's
it's
a cool
like
thing?
I use my voice as an instrument. So it's like I have an accent. My accent is called Galagichi. So that's where I'm from. I'm from Charleston. We have Galagichi accents. We have a tone. So I use my voice as an instrument. So I drag my voice. I try to sing with it. So that's why it may come off as that.
Ah, okay. Is there anybody that you want to collab with, or any?
I want to collab with the whole world. You know, Thug, Beyonce, Cardi, Nicki, Drake, Future. Let's do it. Lil Baby, Young Boy, Playboy Cardi. I'm trying to tap into all the eras, genres, all things of hip hop. So let's do it. I'm down. I'm ready.
I
Would
love
you
it.
ever collaborate with Nicki? Because you
Of
guys, hey,
course.
that could be cool.
Of course, everybody, anybody. I'm
Everybody.
giving it out.
Hey,
you know.
can you split a little flow for me? Because I mean, I want to just even hear it in person.
Well, like I want to twerk on a flop, flop.
Hey.
Okay, she want to twerk on a bop, bop. Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. I want to twerk on the flow. I do not care about these. So why would you think that I care about a?
So she addresses the Nicki comparison. She even talks like Nicki Minaj. And then she's like, nah, you know, it's my Charleston accent. My guys from Charleston and my gals from Charleston, South Carolina. Let me know. Is that a Charleston accent? Because Nicki Minaj is up there from Jamaica, Queens. And she sounds like that. And she's from the islands. I mean, do they got a lot of islanders down in Charleston, South Carolina? I don't know. But she would get interviewed again in June and asked if she would collaborate with Nicki Minaj.
You know, everybody loves to compare you to Nicki Minaj.
Uh-huh.
If the opportunity presented itself, would you love to collab?
Of
with an OG like
course,
Nicki Minaj?
of course.
I love that.
Why not?
She's an OG.
I would. For real, genuinely, I would.
Any other future collabs coming up?
I really don't have future collabs as of right now. But whoever is willing to work with me, I would love to work with them.
I love that. Well, you're killing it. You're going to continue to do your thing. We're going to be watching and cheering you on. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Period.
So this was with Hollywood Unlocked. Again, she says like, yeah, you know, I love Nicki. I'd want to collaborate with Nicki. And then when she does this new video interview and she's asked about her top 3 rappers, frankly, one person seemed to be missing.
Who are your top 5 rappers of all time dead or alive? Fast, hurry, go.
This is hard.
Quick.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Now.
Probably Michael Jackson and Big Young Boy. Probably Future.
Future?
Yeah.
Girl, you had 5 on the list. That was 3.
I don't even see when you got like 3 superstars that you look up to and that just motivates you. Why add
Why
more? Right, like
Right. You want to know my top 3?
First off, she goes on and says, Michael Jackson as a rapper. Oh, what? And I can understand Michael Jackson maybe as an artist that has influence on her, because you could say like this girl has different outfits, different hair, different, and this goes to show why a female rapper is so expensive. Like you just throw, I mean, what do most rappers we see walk around with? They walk around with a hoodie, some sweatpants. Yeah, probably they spent a bunch of money on some of those sweatpants. I don't know, whatever brand that they're wearing nowadays, but it's probably like a $2,000 fit. Nah, man. It could be like, the thing is, it doesn't matter. And the reason why they have those sweatpants is because they're gripping onto onto a hammer inside there. And we're talking about the one that lets off bullets. That's really it. You don't got to pay for their hair. You don't got to pay for their nails. You don't got to pay for the makeup artist. So this girl is putting a lot of effort, and whoever signed her, they're putting a lot of money into her image. And will she generate an adequate income? I don't know. But I'm saying rappers her level that are male are a lot lower cost. And she says NBA Youngboy. I could kind of see it from listening to her music. I've been listening to her music for a couple of months now. I do like her. She's one of my newer favorite rappers, I would say, male or female. Future, this is the thing. So, and then the girl, Gwen, she's like, oh, okay, is that it? She's waiting. She gave her another opportunity. And she doesn't say Nicki Minaj. Now, I'm going to cut her a little bit of bail here, a little bit, before we go in on her. I think that the experience that she's had thus far with the Barbs, she's like, okay, maybe I should just not mention Nicki Minaj anymore and that'll get them off my back. But honestly, I don't know what the hell is going to get them off your back. Once they're on your back, I don't think there's anything you can do. Like, they hopped on Jay-Z's back and they've been on his head top ever since. But Jay-Z, Roc Nation, they're actual enemies of Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has declared them enemies, and they have allegedly done shiesty activities to Nicki Minaj in the background. And Nicki Minaj, I don't think you guys understand, when Tidal was coming out, everybody on that stage had more clout and motion than Jay-Z. Jay-Z had just come off of Magna Carta Holy Grail, which was a stinker. Like, yeah, there were some hits on there, but nah, listen. I'm thinking about a song with Justin Timberlake. Or I don't pop Molly, I rock Tom Ford. Oh my God. But think about it. You had Ye, right? GOAT. You had Nicki Minaj, right? Come on now. I mean, yeah, no, not everybody on that stage, because I think Big Sean was on there too. Now, Big Sean did drop Dark Sky Paradise around that same time. But yeah, the whole like blue thing, Jay-Z used the capital and cultural capital of a Nicki Minaj 2015. Oh man, like, get that. Like, she was on same level as a Ye at that time, maybe even a bit bigger. Like, she already had Anaconda, a bunch of controversy of, just a music video and stuff like that. Obviously, they take the concept of Anaconda and they hop on, they rip that for WAP. Everything is just ripped from Nicki Minaj. So for this girl, I think that she thought, not mentioning her would be great, but really, like, you're in the queen's court. That's what you got to see it as a female rapper. Nicki Minaj can disrespect you, because this is the thing. If you do anything that's seen as disrespectful to Nicki Minaj, you alienate a large fan base. Very, very large one. It's a small world. It's a small world after all. However, if she insults you and you glaze and you're like, man, I was heartbroken by that, this and that, I don't know. You don't got to say, I don't know why Barbs hate me. You don't got to address them. But you just got to be like, yeah, Nicki's amazing. And then if she asks you like, oh, well, you feel like she's attacking your fan accounts, you're like, nah, that must be some misunderstanding. You got to stay on the queen's good side. That's it. And she doesn't got to collaborate with her. And this is one thing that I feel like is a little bit too fast-tracked with female rappers, is they get a Nicki feature too quick. Now, too quick. Shout out to Made in Tokyo for that song. Y'all should listen to that if you haven't. It's on the True's World EP. Came out like 8 or 9 years ago. I will never forget that song. I listen to that all the time. But let's move from that side tangent back to Trim over here. Like, Coi Leray had no business getting a Nicki Minaj feature. Like, they tried to gas Coi Leray's career back up with the Nicki feature. And Nicki even talked about, like, it was Republic that was making, like, not forcing her, but really pushing her to get that feature or get on that feature. I think a Nicki feature is something you've got to earn your way to. It's kind of like a Ye feature, even a Jay. Like with Jay, you're not getting just handed a Jay feature. Now, some people will say, well, J. Cole was put on Jay-Z's project before his debut album or something like that, or before he gave Cole a feature, but he had signed Cole. That's a little bit different. But you've got to work to get there. Like, for example, a Lotto after, I don't even know if, did Lotto ever do that? Cardi B and Nicki obviously never worked. I think it made sense when, like, for example, when Megan Thee Stallion got a Beyonce remix, that made sense. Like, she had already had strong motion. She already had a big fan base. And then she had a #1 with Savage. And then it's like, okay, throw her on there. But when they got Nicki Minaj on the Hot Girl Summer song, which a lot of lore with that one, that was a little bit premature. Like, yeah, Hot Girl Summer was popping as a trend, but I feel like Nicki Minaj is a little bit too kind with they better be throwing her the bag, because she's doing them a favor when at the time frame that she's hopping on these features. But yeah, I think Trim has got to, I think maneuvering as a female rapper is a lot more political than a male rapper, because the fan base is narrower. Like, you're in shallow waters. If you're a male rapper, you can have female fans, you can have male fans, you can have everybody. As a female rapper, you're very, very, very limited. Like, most guys that even watch this, they're not listening to no Trim. They might listen to one song, but they're not really following female rappers like that. And that's just the nature of it. It will never change, and it's largely always been like this. So there's really no point in even trying to get that. So yeah, when you have a smaller fan base, you have to, it's a scarce resource. So you've got to maneuver a little bit differently in her case. Do I think that she should apologize or address this? This is a problem. I do think that she's going to get asked about this in future interviews that she does. That's where it's unfortunate. But I do think she should try to push and hope that people forget it after a week or two, which should be the case. And she's still got a lot to do to prove herself. Like she's got some songs, like I said, she's talented. She's clearly been rapping for a very long time, but she's just got into the game. Like she doesn't even hold a candle to a lot of these other rappers, female rappers that have established themselves, even like Molly Santana, right? Like Molly Santana's been doing this for at least like not even, maybe 7 years, making music actively, making good music for at least the past 2+ years. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.